the young, and the restless spoilers. In the labyrinth and corridors of power in Genoa City, few relationships are as complex and fraught with tension as the one between Michael Baldwin and Victor Newman. For years, Michael has served as Victor's trusted legal counsel, navigating the murky waters of corporate intrigue and personal vendettas with skill and discretion. But even the most loyal of allies can be pushed to their limits, and Michael is now at a crossroads that could alter the course of his life, and Victor's, forever. Michael's desire to reconcile with Victor is genuine. Despite their differences, there is a bond between them forged in the fires of countless legal battles and personal crises. Michael has always admired Victor's indomitable will and his ability to bend the world to his desires. However, when Victor asks Michael to take on a new task, one that involves taking down and destroying Billy Abbott, Michael finds himself hesitating. The request is not just difficult, it's morally repugnant. Why, Michael wonders, would Victor want to destroy Billy? Billy has not posed a direct threat to Victor, at least not one that justifies such extreme measures. Yet, Victor's obsession with power and control seems to know no bounds. He sees Billy as an obstacle, someone who could potentially disrupt his plans or challenge his authority. For Victor, that is reason enough to launch a preemptive strike. But for Michael, it's a step too far. As Michael wrestles with his conscience, he begins to see Victor in a new light. He realizes that Victor's ruthlessness is not a tool he uses sparingly, but rather an intrinsic part of who he is. Victor will stop at nothing to achieve his goals, even if it means sacrificing those who have stood by him. This cold, calculating side of Victor is something Michael can no longer ignore. He cannot, in good conscience, continue to serve a man who values power above all else, including the lives and well-being of others. The turning point comes when Michael decides to confide in Billy. It's a risky move, one that could backfire if Billy were to react impulsively or betray his trust. But Michael feels that Billy has a right to know the danger he's in. He warns Billy to be cautious, to watch his back, because Victor is gunning for him. Billy is taken aback by the news, but his shock quickly turns to anger. Why would Victor want to harm him? What could he possibly gain from such an act? Billy's outrage is palpable, but so is his determination. He has no intention of being Victor's next victim, and he's more than willing to fight back. The idea of putting Victor behind bars is an appealing one, not just for Billy but for Michael as well. Michael knows that he possesses a treasure trove of information, evidence accumulated over years of working closely with Victor. This evidence could be the key to bringing Victor down, to finally making him pay for his countless misdeeds. For Michael, the decision to turn against Victor is not made lightly. It's a choice born out of a deep sense of betrayal and a growing realization that Victor's moral compass is irreparably skewed. Michael has always believed in justice, even when his work as a lawyer required him to bend the rules. But there is a difference between bending the rules and outright breaking them, between seeking justice and exacting vengeance. Victor has crossed that line too many times, and Michael can no longer stand by and watch. As Michael and Billy begin to strategize, the stakes become clear. This is not just a legal battle, it's a war for the soul of Genoa City. Victor is a formidable opponent, one who has survived countless attempts to dethrone him. He has been to prison before, and each time he has emerged stronger, more determined, more dangerous. But this time, things might be different. This time, Victor is facing an opponent who knows him better than anyone, someone who has the means and the motivation to take him down for good. Victor, for his part, is not oblivious to the brewing storm. He senses the shift in Michael's attitude, the subtle but unmistakable signs of defiance. Victor has always prided himself on his ability to control those around him, to keep them in line through a combination of fear and loyalty. But Michael is different. He is no longer the pliant attorney who would do Victor's bidding without question. He is a man with his own principles, and those principles are now in direct conflict with Victor's agenda. As the tension between them escalates, Victor begins to realize the gravity of the situation. He knows that if Michael turns against him, the consequences could be catastrophic. Michael's knowledge of Victor's operations, his business dealings, and his personal vendettas is unparalleled. If that knowledge were to be used against him, it could spell the end of Victor's reign as the king of Genoa City.